Okay, well, it's going to get better from here. Here we go. Happy to see the happy faces here. We're going to be getting on this in a second.
Good morning, Edmund.
Good morning. Long time no see, Manzoor. How are you?
Excellent. Thank you. Thanks
Good.
for asking.
Are you going to Dallas?
I'm kind of in between. I haven't decided yet.
I haven't either. So
Yeah,
yes.
definitely.
Hopefully.
But I'm with Compass now, so I made a little change. So I'm
Okay.
trying to get back on track with my CRM and stuff.
Gotta love that. Always have to
It's a
stay
lot of work.
focused on all this. It's endless. And yeah,
Absolutely.
I know that they tend to brag about Compass's technology, so I'm curious to hear from you if you think it lives up to that.
It's a good system. It's a robust system. So far, so good. But I'll keep you in the loop.
Good, please do.
Thanks.
And got a couple other things. Jennifer's joining us now, which is great. And okay, the meeting started. Good, we got that. Okay, so we're going to be talking about, and Steve, can't forget to say hi to Steve. Hi, Steve. Okay, that's Steve, everyone. So we're going to get started with all this. We know that this is being recorded, as all these meetings are, and it's going to be going up on multiple archives. Very, very important meeting today. We are trying to utilize AI as a means of building out your business and building out different opportunities. And I'm just going to mute Aton there because I heard that in the background. Always good to see you, Aton. So we're going to be getting going in just a second. Again, let me just check on one other thing here. So yeah, we're going to talk about enhancing listings. Who's already using AI to enhance their listings? They could either raise their hand or shout out or do. Okay, we got an arm there. Got Aton, you got an arm growing out of the side of your neck there. Jennifer, Manzoor, somebody tell me how they're using it. What you got to unmute and just let us know what are you doing to enhance your listings with AI?
I loved when you showed me how to do my ad for the restaurant review with AI. It was awesome.
Oh yeah? Did you take it a step further? Go a little bit more? It's okay if
Not yet, but I'm going to.
Okay.
I'm going to this weekend. I'm going to make a YouTube video for it.
Okay.
I'm going to interview the owner. I just texted him yesterday. So anyway, yeah, I'm going to do a whole thing around it. So thank you.
Good. Well, thank you. And just so you know, because I see Aton's driving and you're driving, I did my DNA test and I found out that I'm 3% Jewish grandmother, which is why I worry about everyone. So please keep your hands on the wheel, keep focus straight. You could always look back at this video. It makes me all mashugana. We can't do that. I worry about all of you. And Aton, you've got somebody already distracting you there. I can see that, but that's fine. Let me go in with some of the tricks here. Anybody else want to make some comments about what they're using AI for? And I'm going to show you a couple tricks that I know you haven't seen, and you're going to say, wow, that was so worth going to this meeting because you just showed that to me. Anyone?
So for me, it's just like descriptions and stuff.
Okay.
Anything like description-wise to describe the property and make it more appealing. I use ChatGPT.
Okay.
It helps a lot. And as far as marketing, like creating social posts, I give it a prompt and it gives me, so it's more like text. So I haven't gotten into like video or picture side of it, but I definitely, and that's one of the key things I want to learn today. Hopefully you'll give us more insights.
Great. And we will, and you'll be able to save this. This will be on the blog and on the private login page for REIGNation clients, which I hope all of you are logging into. So let's just jump right into it. I'm going to show you a couple things here that I think you're going to find really, really impressive. First of all, actually, before I do that, just a show of hands. How many of you have heard of Perplexity? Can we see a show of hands about people who've heard one? Steve is like, maybe, kind of. Steve, come on, you're usually definitive. Come on, hold your hand up like a man. Okay, there we go. Okay, so Perplexity is basically, they've utilized both ChatGPT, which is by OpenAI, and Claude 3, which is by a company called Anthropic. along with other companies, to be able to go into their API. Now, this is not going to be a technical lesson here, but I'll let you know what API is. Effectively, when you get into something's API, you're going through the doorway. You're being able to utilize that technology for another purpose. In other words, wouldn't it be great if ChatGPT, if you could get an email from someone and then automatically answer in ChatGPT? That's the API. You're able to actually get through the back door to be able to have this do some automated services for you. Okay, a lot of psychobabble, a lot of technical babble. Let me get on with some of the good stuff here. Perplexity is one of those companies that is utilizing the API of several different large language models like ChatGPT and like Anthropic. And let me show you what I mean. I spend your money very carefully, folks. I spend an extra $20 a month on so many different things. I like to say I'm being bitten to death by a duck. However, Perplexity is one of these things that you should strongly consider. As a $20 a month member within this, and by the way, I'm getting nothing from this. I'm not an affiliate marketer or anything. So I'm just giving this because I think it's really important. If you are part of Perplexity, you could go to something called Page and click on that. This is brand new. You haven't seen it. And let's say you want to write a blog post about something. You could type it in. Somebody give me a blog post. Let me pick on somebody here. Victor, give me a blog post that you want written about something. Don't even think. Just give it to me. Free association. Come on.
How to avoid being attacked by ducks in the Florida Everglades.
Do something better. Give me one more.
You mentioned ducks.
I mentioned ducks, but I've never heard of anyone being attacked by ducks in the Florida Everglades. Give me one more.
How to figure out the best place to relocate when you absolutely hate where you live.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. So now it says, what is this page about? Remember, we went to Perplexity. I went to library. I picked page. And now it says, so how to choose a new place to live when you absolutely hate where you currently live. Focus on, Victor, where in California?
Yeah. Are we talking a place? Or are we talking about?
Where are you living? Where is somebody living right now that they absolutely hate?
Okay, I'm kind of getting bored with Pasadena. I'm used to living by the beach, so let's say Pasadena.
Focus on move. Oops. Sorry. Focus on moving from Pasadena to somewhere else. Okay. Now, again, it's a little silly here. What this is actually doing is it's jumping into a whole load of other load of other GPTs like ChatGPT and like Anthropic. And it's actually writing out the blog based on that one request. This is absolutely remarkable. It even picked a picture. You know, moving to a new city can be an exciting opportunity for personal growth and fresh start. If you're unhappy living in Pasadena and considering relocating, it's important to carefully research destinations. So evaluating the job market, it has all of this. But here's the thing. Each one of these things, once it's done writing, I'm going to be able to throw some other ideas into it and have it rewrite. I've never seen an AI do this before. I learned about it this morning, guys, okay? I wasn't even planning on talking about it here, but I just got so excited by this whole thing because I'm going to show you. And I immediately made a couple blogs, which I sent to Daniel for future use. If you want to now edit the words here, you could start to rewrite the intro. You could ask it to rewrite the thing for you, or you could do it yourself. If you want to insert a section, you can. And then let's say you're not happy with this picture, you could click this thing here and choose another picture. So there, we could go make that. Again, I don't know if that's looking very Californian to you, Victor.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Now let's see, evaluate in the job market. So now it's going to actually, if we want to change it, it could give all sorts of graphs and things here. Let's take the United States and understanding local climate. So we could add thing, and it's going to be something about the weather. I don't like that. Let's change this to weather patterns and climate zones. Okay. Again, whether you want this or not is not the point. The point is I want you to learn how to actually use it. Now, how about we do something here? Please look up Victor Curry, a realtor in California, and write a brief about him and why, when moving, you should use him. Okay, so now this is actually doing something that the AIs normally don't do. Victor Curry is a highly experienced, and Victor, you can tell me if this is right or wrong, real estate agent based in Pasadena, California, with a deep knowledge of Southern California housing market. Curry specializes in helping clients find creative solutions in their homes. As a realtor at Douglas Elm in real estate, he serves both Los Angeles and Orange counties, leveraging his expertise. Curry's passion for excellence, blah, 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 there. In addition to his Curry is known for his engaging personality and commitment to sharing his knowledge with others. His YouTube channel, Victor Curry Living in Southern California, offers regular thoughts. Any of this true, Victor, or no?
Yeah, that's pretty accurate, actually. Yeah.
Okay.
Ed,
So
why don't you change the blog to moving to Pasadena instead of from Pasadena?
okay, well, we could do whatever it is. The point is now here, Victor, I just requested.
Because I don't want to work with buyers. I want to work with listings.
He wants to work the listing. Here, I didn't like that picture of Victor, so I just did this. Boom, it's changed. So now here's the blog, and we could actually publish it. I'm going to copy the link. And Victor, I'm going to direct message that link to everybody here for everyone to go and check out. How do you like that?
That's pretty good. It was
Well,
it was
I didn't even
pretty
read the
accurate
bloody
in terms
thing.
of the
I
me
mean,
part. I didn't read the whole thing, but yeah.
I didn't read any of it.
Yeah.
It was not even, so there was literally no effort done here, which begs the question, if content gets that easy and you get sloppy with it, are people really going to read it? I'm not giving you license to do nothing. That's not what REIGNation is about. What this is about is utilizing the tools to be able to make more of yourself. Stop hiding yourself. We need to make more of you, not less of you. That's what your clients are actually going to like. And by the way, when it comes to actually you, people will say, but Ed, what if I have someone show my properties for me? Or what if I'm on a team? If someone works with the Edmund Bogan team in South Florida, they are guaranteed the level of service that I promised, but not me. Not me. I'm not guaranteeing me. I'm guaranteeing the service that my brand brings behind all of this. And that's how I want all of you to think when it comes to actually utilizing these tools. Okay, questions, comments? That was done in about 7 or 8 minutes. So I'm curious.
It was really effortless, and I agree with you as far as the content. We should go and read it and be more thoughtful. But just the formatting, the pictures, like how effortless it is, that will make things 10 times faster, 20 times faster. Love that. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Who else?
I came in late.
Who's this? Who's speaking?
Leslie.
Leslie, tell everyone who you are and where you are, Leslie. And
Hi, Leslie Mitchell in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Okay.
I came in late. Were you introducing this product, software Perplexity? Is that what you were doing?
No, we were passing out free money for everyone. It's too bad that you're late.
Man.
Everyone got $10,000, but you decided to be late. So yeah, it's Perplexity. Perplexity is, as I was explaining, a service that has, by getting into the API or getting into the doorway of various large language models like ChatGPT and Anthropic, they've been able to deliver something that will actually search the web and combine all of those searches to be able to make something that I think is just spectacular. It's just an absolutely spectacular set of research. And in this case was a blog post. Anybody want to see another blog post or
well, let me just interrupt you, because what I was going to say is I used Perplexity for the first time. I guess it's 2 days ago.
Okay.
From our Wednesday call, Samantha wanted a Charlotte agent to help with her son's rental.
Okay.
And they were looking at 3 different apartment buildings, and I was only vaguely familiar with one. So I went to both Perplexity and ChatGPT, and I asked them to compare these based on crime and walking distance to school and other items, and make a recommendation. And both of them, Perplexity and ChatGPT, came up with almost the same thing, but not quite. And so I ended up sending her Perplexity, and she loved it.
You wound up sending her the results from Perplexity.
Yes, the results, and they were very, very detailed and thorough. I mean,
Yeah.
it was good. She liked it.
All this is your secret power until the cat's out of the bag and everyone's discovered it. That's why we need to keep, that's why when I wake up in the middle of the night with an idea, or I call Eitan and his wife is just like, well, Eitan, it's 12 o'clock at night, you know, and I'm like, no, Eitan, tell her to calm down. I got to talk to you. When we do all that, there's a reason for it, because we have to stay on top of these tools. There's just so much going on. It's impossible to really stay on top of it on your own. I just think that there's a lot going on. Okay, so who else? We're going to get to a couple of other tools that have been utilized. I'm most impressed with this. I got so excited by it. I wanted to share it with everyone now. Again, perplexity.ai. You could join it for free. And if you want to use the $20 a month version, that could do all those blogs. And by the way, there's no commitment of time on any of these things. So if you feel as though you're using it in 1 month and suddenly you spend too much money, or you want to save money, you know, you could just jump on and off as you want. And thank you, Daniel, for putting the link up there. Okay, let me just show you a couple of other things. This is more of a methodology.
Ed,
Go ahead.
could you explain what the $20 a month version gives you more?
It gives it, thank you, Eitan. It gives you, well, A, that blogging feature was something that you actually have to pay for. B, it's going to give you a lot more depth in the inquiries. In other words, there's something in the computer world that they refer to as tokens. Tokens are the volume of memory. There's so many tokens. It would be great to say that there's 1 word per token or 5 words, but it doesn't exactly work that way. A token is considered, just for your purposes, a nodule of memory. When you pay for these services, they give you both more searches, a greater depth of tokens, which means you could input a whole lot of information into that particular large language model. For example, let me give you another thing that we're doing here. This meeting is being copied and recorded on Otter. It's otter.ai. Otter is an AI that's actually making word for word. For those of you who've seen it, just bear with me. But if we go here, let me get rid of that. Here's Otter. So now you can take a look, and it's getting us, where are we? Okay. So it's getting us word for word. It's actually recording this meeting and taking various screenshots. It's a little slow here now because I'm on this thing, but you'll see that it actually makes a full transcript of the entire meeting. What I do at the end of this meeting is I take that entire transcript and I take a prompt, which I could share with you later, and I put it into ChatGPT and I ask it to summarize the whole meeting. So let me do this with the previous meeting, just so you could see here, the Art of Persuasion, that was last week. I will go to my magic list of prompts that I love. And let's just go in here, ChatGPT prompts, and let's go to Zoom. And, you know, when I find a good prompt, I use it. So here, summarize the I'm going to summarize this meeting. We're going to go to ChatGPT. I'm going to enter this prompt in. And it says basically what I wanted to do. I require a succinct yet comprehensive summary of this video. Great. So now I'm going to take this meeting. I'm going to copy it. And we're going to show all the ways that we could repurpose this data. So this was our last meeting. For those of you who went, I hope you enjoyed it. And now I'm going to take that transcript, which I just copied, and put it into ChatGPT. And now this guy's actually taking the notes and making a summary of it. But sometimes I don't stop just there. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll take this into another GPT and say, please review this summary and improve and add content as you see fit. Now, it may or may not work out. Sometimes it's not as great as you would like it to be, but I'm going to here take this stuff from that, and I'm going to put this into the other GPT. I'm going to tell you why I'm using both in a minute. There we go. So now it's actually redoing it. Now, why would I bother doing that? Well, there's a couple of reasons. A, what if you're actually taking stuff that you thought was copywritten, or that you thought, you wanted to just get a second run through it? You're going to find that by blending two different outputs from two different AIs can create a much better and much more understandable summary or much better content for you. It's just, I don't know, exactly why that's going to always be better, but for whatever reason, whenever I've combined, I've always been very pleased with the outcome that this creates. I'm going to go to stop this for a second and say, Jennifer, go ahead.
So for instance, are you saying like if we created something in ChatGPT or even something from before we knew about Perplexity, we could then put it into Perplexity and say, improve on this?
Yeah. And then you could take various sentences or various aspects of what was said. You could check it for plagiarism. You could check it for believability. You could check it for a variety of things. I've said this in multiple meetings. I was the kid that took mom's toaster apart. Okay, and I couldn't put it back together again. I was always curious about how things actually worked. I want all of you to be that kid that takes something apart and just tries it. Screw it up. Just don't publish it, but just try it and screw it up, because you're going to find that you're going to get great ideas from all of this. Go ahead, Jennifer.
Have you heard of I heard someone talk about one of these AIs, you can train it to really sound like you.
Yes.
Somehow. Like
your voice.
Yeah, and your expressions and stuff, like feed it some video or something. Is that Perplexity, or do you know anything about that?
I do. Well, any AI, if you train it with enough of your language, is able to make comments. Yeah, I'll show you a couple of them here. And we'll see. You'll tell me if it works, okay? This is I'm doing this.
It removes 99%.
Darlene, if you don't mind muting yourself, we hear everything.
Power wash has 3 cleaning boosts. You cannot found in.
Okay, thank you. Don't leave, but we have it here. Okay, so let's take.
Try Dawn Power Wash this
Okay.
spring. Help me buy better.
There we go. Guys, you're in a live meeting with a live mic. Just remember that. Unless you're saying like real juicy stuff, please mute yourselves. Victor, you can leave it unmuted. I'm sure there's exciting stuff that you've got going on there. So, Jennifer, you asked, can you change the tone? I'm like, write a paragraph about why dogs are better than cats.
I think, Edmund, what Jennifer meant was to make like a audio version or a.
Well, she said she wanted to sound like the tone as well. Is that right, Jennifer, or no?
If you could clarify.
It's not so much. It's not so much about creating a video. Someone said if you feed one of these AIs a piece of video, it will really become more. It won't just be like these factoids. Like ChatGPT, I've been using it, but I don't like it because it just doesn't sound like a human. But you can train it to sound really much more like you.
Yes, so
somehow.
she's not talking about the actual audio.
Got it. Got it. I
You're
was
talking
mistaken.
about
Sorry.
the tone and writing, right, Jennifer, or no? Okay, so then I'll go back to my example of the cats here. And again, if you guys love cats more than dogs, I'm not going to fight you on this. So here's the dogs make far superior pets compared to cats for several key reasons. First, dogs are much more loyal and affectionate companions. Okay, it's very basic. Why don't we say, Jennifer, give me an actor or give me a scene in a movie that you like, or a character from a book.
Oh, gosh, I hate these kind of questions.
Something, give me something.
Jerry Seinfeld.
Yeah, there you go.
It sounded like Jerry Seinfeld from his hit TV show. Okay, so now we just gave it some real directions here. It came up with the content. Now we're actually going to change the tone, and let's see how close it is. Okay, so now it's actually doing a narrative. You know, what's the deal with people always saying dogs are better than cats? I mean, have you ever seen a dog clean itself? It's like they're perpetually stuck in grooming salon. And loyalty, please, more like Stockholm syndrome. George, I don't know, Jerry. It's kind of like dogs. So they're giving the whole scene there. That's not what I wanted, but it's what we got here. Let's try one other thing. Here, I'm going to stop it. Can you rewrite as if it was told by William Shakespeare? What sayest thou, Lysander, of this age-old query that dogs, not cats, be masters of man's heart? So now it's actually going to take this, and why it's fallen into this dialogue, I'm not really certain. You know, we could redo it here. I'm going to stop it. Write as an explanation, not a dialogue. So great, now it's going to give us this whole thing as if it was William Shakespeare. And again, I encourage you to do this offline here to check it out, because now you're going to be able to tweak things with some of these commands. Okay, Jennifer, do I still have you?
Yes.
Okay, so let me just show you this. Why don't we give it like a different personality? Now write it as if you were somebody. Give me a journalist, a well-known journalist.
Well, the point though, Ed, is that we're not well known. We're us. So how do we train it to understand who we are?
Well, well, let me ask you this. I'll throw the question back out at you. When are you? In other words, you could write very differently based on the mood and tone that you're actually in. If you find a journalist that actually writes like you and there's samples of it, or if you have like papers that you wrote, you could say, I'm going to input these papers now. Please, from going forward, write in the style of what that paper is. Try that.
Okay.
Because you know, and if you're not happy with how you sound, as I've never liked my writing, you could make a direct request to be able to make it sound like somebody else. Like who's the one that wrote the world is flat? Victor, you must have read The World is Flat. Somebody, no? Anybody? It was a big New York Times journalist. Or how about this Gary Keller? Let's do that. Okay. Now write as if you were Gary Keller from Keller Williams. It knows who he is. So now you can see, today I want to talk with you about why dogs are the ultimate pet for anyone looking to maximize their happiness and success. Okay, so supposedly this is Gary Keller. Anyone who's heard him, it actually is sort of like him. But here's another trick that everyone should know. This is where you have to pay attention, guys. So just focus right here. What you could do right now is say, please make it 25% more serious. And it will actually take that and it will go through, you know, in its opinion, how to actually make it much, much more serious. Or if you want to make it more salesy, like how about this? Make this as salesy as possible. We must sell dogs, not cats. So now it's going to change this. All I'm saying is this: you may hate every one of my examples, and that's fine. What I'm just trying to show you is the volume of possibilities and how you should be using ChatGPT to be able to, but that's not all. Dogs are also incredibly trainable. Make them the perfect companion for goals-oriented individuals like yourself. Just like how we train our agents to be the best in the business, you could train your dog to be the ultimate partner in crime. So, you know, it's taken these insights and it's expanded upon them. And going back to that example that I always give of the kid that took the toaster apart and didn't know how to put it back together again, don't be afraid to fuck it up. Okay, hear that. I say really strong words here. Don't be afraid to make a mistake, because when you ultimately do that, you're going to find that you're able to change everything in your writings and how you could do it. One other thing, repurposing the data. Let's take a look at this and say, this is great. Please write a short Facebook post with emojis similar to this. So now, and again, assuming, so now it's actually making that Facebook post for you. Again, maybe dogs wasn't the world's greatest example, and now it's saying that it's Gary Keller, not sounding like Gary Keller. That's why you need to read it. But you could do all sorts of stuff that now write a post about your newest, about Edmund Logan's newest listing in St. Andrews Country Club. It's a 4-bedroom home with a pool, and the area loves dogs, or something like that. Again, I'm just screwing around with this here. So now it's got this whole thing about St. Andrews Country Club. We've already done this whole thing about dogs. If we're actually trying to target the dog owner, you might want to go and put something out there. Once again, it's not licensed to ignore or not pay attention to what was written, but rather it's licensed to be able to experiment. So I hope this doesn't make everyone so terribly lazy. That's really not what this is about. What it's really about is trying to use it as a tool. And there's lots of things that you could do with this. Who else? What other new tools have come out this week that somebody might want to give a try to? I don't know if anyone got a call. Is Eitan still here? Where did Eitan go? Okay, I think he's here.
I'm right here.
You're right here. Okay, so yeah, Eitan has been the champion of, he's my business partner and is the champion of a lot of our technology. We are now rolling out an AI that actually calls you on the phone, a vocal AI, and we actually carried on a conversation with someone for 5 minutes and they had no idea they were speaking with a computer. We are now developing this for you if you want to use it for sales calls. And it's not ready for prime time yet, but just as we know the technology is heading in all these great directions, we will be rolling this out as a service to all of you. So I want everyone to consider that if you're not nuts about cold calling. Is it going to be perfect? Probably not. Is it going to be effective? Absolutely, because you are able to, depending upon what we know about you and how it actually gets programmed. And this poor guy's put about 100 hours into this so far, and we're really, it's getting impressive. So it's really cool. I just want to share that with all of you. Also, Jennifer, you asked the question about your voice. Has everyone seen 11 Labs yet? Or has anybody heard of 11 Labs?
Yes, so I initially thought that was the question, and that was what I was gonna think. I've worked with 11 Labs. I have an accent, so my voice didn't come out as much as close as I liked it.
Okay.
But yeah, I've seen Jason Pantana use it, and it's very effective.
Okay, let's go to the videotape. Let's go to 11 Labs here. And I'm going to pull it up in a moment. Okay, so this is something, 11 Labs, I'm spending a whopping $5 a month on this. All of you, if you want to make content, use 11 Labs. Let's use this here. I made my voice local restaurant prompt. So we did something, we did this about Jen's opinion about South Scottsdale. I think this is the last time I used it, Jen. So let's just see what we did here. And I'm going to just generate a speech. This was trained on my voice. I just shortened this. I love the handmade pasta. It is family owned. Try the mussels during happy hour. They are amazing. Their website says, a collaboration between owner Danny Quinn and chef Danny Garcia. Publico is where classic old school Italian meets contemporary casual. We may have traded the carpet and doilies for craft cocktails and cool light fixtures, but that's about it. Okay, that wasn't me. I mean, that was my voice that was trained, but that wasn't, does that sound like me, first of all, or am I far off? Karina, maybe?
It does.
It sounds like your actual voice, but it doesn't have your tone. And that's been my thing with 11 Labs started. It's amazing technology and it's great for doing filler words. But I've rarely heard stuff that doesn't sound robotic in its pace.
It's again,
it'll get there.
It'll get there. And I'm telling all of you this, I've cited this example before that for those of you who've heard of Moore's Law, Gordon Moore was the CEO of Intel. And he said the reason that they're going to grow is because the volume of information, the processing speed on a transistor will double roughly every 28 months. And he was right. And if you look at the doubling factor, you know, which would all of you rather have? A penny doubled per day for 30 days or $500?
Penny.
Okay.
Penny doubling.
How much is the penny doubled every day for 30 days?
I think it's $1 million or something.
It's actually 10,500,000 and change.
Wow.
Wow. So that's what we're experiencing right now.
Are you sure about that?
I'm 100% sure about that. You can put that into any type of program. If you don't want to trust ChatGPT, you can try it on Excel. The compounding effect is outrageous, and that's really what you need to focus on with this stuff. When Eitan and I are working on these technologies that might just be getting ready for prime time now, we know that this doubling effect, I could show you, Daniel, do you have last year's hurricane preparedness guide and this year's hurricane preparedness guide by chance? I know you weren't expecting me to say it. If you could look for both. Daniel made our hurricane preparedness guide, which again, we will share with all of you, and you can personalize it in case you're in a hurricane prone zone. Victor and Karina, you can make an earthquake guide with the information that you have out there. And this is brought to you by the Edmund Bogan team at Douglas Elliman Real Estate. And we give that to people and they thank you. And it's something that you could actually either give in the digital form or print up. And this is something that we created extremely rapidly on AI, including the images. Now, why do I want to see the one from the year before? Because you're going to see just what happened to the images in that short year. It blows me away. It went from being really, really like mediocre to being really convincing. And again, hopefully Daniel will find it. Again, he wasn't expecting it, and I can see the pressure in his face right now saying, oh God, why do I work with a guy that does this to me? But if he finds it, that's great. Okay, we've only got a few more minutes here though. So while he's hunting for that, what other questions do we have?
Hey, Ed, I'll just pop in real quick.
Please.
That example you gave about the penny,
Yeah.
that is included in the Compound Effect written by Darren Hardy.
Okay.
And it's, I mean, the book in general is a good sales book, talks about being consistent and all these other good things that any salesperson would want to know.
Sure.
So Just FYI.
I appreciate it, and I don't know if he was the one that coined it. I know it's been used by many different motivational speakers, so I certainly won't take credit for having written that. But it's a very good example, and it's something that I want all of you to really think about. You see, most people come to REIGNation because you really think you need to make some type of dramatic change. Here's the thing, newsflash, you really don't. This is not about sounding like somebody else. It's really finding your unique self and about what's going to get you from point A to point B. If I could change you by just, 1% a day, you're going to change by 100% in 70 days. If we could actually, that's the compounding effect that you have by making some small incremental changes. If you're not happy with the outcome of the sales that you're actually doing, we need to take an audit as to, what did we do here? So somebody did this thing. Was this Eitan? Of course, he did the doubling. Day 1, day 2, day 30. Go to day 31 there, guy. I did a 31-day month. Okay, he's all proud of himself that he came up with only 5 million. If you double it, I was right. Okay, there we have it. Ha!
So don't start this in February.
I love it when I'm right and he's wrong. I don't know. There's just something very nice about it. Okay, so let's see what we have here. RA's put, I need access. Daniel, I need access to this thing. I don't know why it's not giving it to me. And I think it is worth seeing. Daniel, if you could pull it up on your screen, both of them, that would be great. I really do want to show everybody. So maybe I could let you share your screen. Again, maybe you can, maybe you can't. Okay, so what do we got? What do we got on tap for next week? Let me just see this. We've got coming up on Wednesday, it is CRM systems. So how to actually streamline your workflow. This is technology agnostic. I'm not going to sell you on Follow Up Boss, which is what we use. I'm going to talk with you about the things that you need to put into your CRM and how you're going to be able to use it at a bare minimum to be able to make some value. You said you shared it to me. Where did you share it? All right, Daniel. Okay, so let me just see. Okay, we've got 2 different things here. So here, let's just take a look at one at a time. This was last year's Hurricane Preparedness Guide. And we've got some, the images aren't bad. That one is. This one, okay, so this was a year ago. This is what we prepared. And again, we could share both of these things with you. Get a generator. I mean, it's talking about all and I always like that image. They all look a little freaked out in their car. Okay, so that was last year. This is this year. No, that's not it. Do you see how the images are just so much more real? I mean, that's really the difference. If you looked at it side by side, it really is quite remarkable how these things have just advanced. That was the image of the people in the car before. It's just so much more real. And this has just been in the last year of what's going on. So we brand it with the Edmund Bogan team, know where to go, different stuff. It's, again, he's going to make some corrections to this. But just to show you that you could use content as a means of impressing and keeping everybody that you do business with, having a reason to call people. Most of you just go about this saying, well, I don't know what to say. We've got to come up with a reason. We've got to manufacture it in advance. And it really does work, and it works very, very well. So that's what we have here. Steve, what did you share with me? AI video a year ago, Conan O'Brien eating chicken. Okay. Wait, Steve, do you have the follow-up of what that looks like today? You're looking forward? Okay, he's looking forward. But in the meantime, guys, look, so we've got some great meetings coming up. We've got great stuff. This month, I've declared it 10x month. It's the month for you to try and 10x the volume of business that you're actually doing. What are you truly focusing on? Here's a hint. Sometimes it's the stuff that you cut out of your business that allows you to actually increase your business. So, we could talk about that more if you want to talk one-on-one. Steve, is that it? Was that
Yep. Yeah, that's the updated one.
Okay, so let's take a look here.
Imagine making $453,000 in a single month as an affiliate marketer without relying on Google.
So this is like where video was just a year ago.
So that was Conan O'Brien eating chicken a year ago. Okay, I can't even keep watching it. That's
Horrible.
let's see
It's
what
horrible.
a year later brought us.
OpenAI's text-to-video AI, Sora, took the world by storm just a few weeks ago. We all know these results, but good news, there are some new ones that I found.
Wow. So this is
absolutely
all AI generated now.
and I learned a lot.
So
Stay
we went
tuned,
from
because
that
here
last
you
video
will
of
see
Conan
your
O'Brien eating chicken.
Imagination, and you will see horror.
Mhm.
I was not ready to see the horror. Dear fellow scholars, this is 2-minute papers with Dr.
So that cat is not real?
Part 1. Let's start with the beauty.
I'm asking
Here
Steve.
is a house tour.
No.
I absolutely
No, this-
love how well made this is, but what is perhaps even more impressive is that it really has a model of the house
Yeah.
itself.
Okay.
It does
So
not feel like
I like
it
the
is
use
just
case a lot
making
for
things up
like open
as it
house
goes.
tours.
And as
And,
I
you know,
am
you could
a
put
light transport
a voice behind it doing an open house tour for someone who's not there so that they can experience the house.
yeah. Well, I guess the point that all of you need to know is that it's getting exponentially better. And
Yep.
what I'm really hoping for everyone in this meeting and everyone that I'm doing business with is that we could embrace this and be able to utilize it to the best of our ability. Whatever you do, learn it, really begin to get in on it, because there's just, I don't believe that AI will necessarily take our jobs, but somebody utilizing AI that does what you do will. It's just too obvious to me. It's all there. One last thing I want you to think about, and I'd like you to try on your own. If you get a complex PDF, you could drop that into any one of the large language models, free or paid, by the way, and you could actually have a conversation with a PDF form. I don't think she's here now, but there's a member of our group who was going through a divorce, and I spoke to her after I told her about this. She's able to now, instead of going to an attorney with this 100-page divorce agreement, she puts it into ChatGPT and is able to actually have a question and answer period with this tool to be able to find out at least the basic stuff off of what's in there. And she went back to her attorney, and the attorney's like, "Are you working with another attorney? How did you understand this?" So you could start to utilize this stuff in ways that you never considered before. That's what this meeting was all about. Wants, needs, and brags very quickly. Does anyone have anything?
I have something for you.
Okay.
This is about enhancing property listings, right? So I have pictures of a property of a listing of mine, and I use Adobe, the Adobe suite. I think I pay $59 a month. It's expensive, but they've introduced all their products AI, and it really does wonderful things. First of all, Adobe Acrobat does have the AI built in, and it will explain the PDF for you. You could ask it any question and it will answer. And as far as Adobe Photoshop, I had mold on the ceiling, and I was able to just, circle the mold and tell the application, please remove mold. And it removed it like nothing was there before. I was able to add a chair to take away a bed and stuff like that. So I highly recommend it.
Yeah, don't tell the buyer.
Yeah, okay.
If life could be that easy, right?
Yeah, is it legal to
Well,
remove
don't
the
you
mold and
stage your
post it?
property?
We all
It's the same
stage
thing.
properties. I think it's great. I think it's fine. So just whatever needs to be material you disclose, please disclose it. We follow the rules here at REIGNation. And but it's true. We virtually stage properties because people need to see what's going on before they necessarily want to go see the property. Karina, you look skeptical. What's the matter?
Oh, hi.
Hi.
I do.
I don't know. You looked like Eitan was like, mold. I don't know. I thought I saw.
I didn't realize my video was on. Sorry.
No, you look great. You look great. And who's this
Great.
GK Realty Group? I don't know. 92389. Who is this?
Yes, hi. This is me. My name is Rolla.
Rolla, how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Good. Where are you?
Well, I am in Florida, Oakland. My office is here.
Okay.
and I'm kind of new to the business, and you know, all what I heard today was very informative, because all this technology with the ChatGPT, and that's the first time I hear of Perplexity.
Complexity,
So,
yes.
yes, so I really need to know more and more. So please keep us posted for more.
So please send your contact info. You could click Daniel if you put it up there. Daniel at Bogan Homes. He's putting it into the chat right now. There
Sure.
it is. And if you email us that, I'd love to catch up with you. If any of you have any other questions, that's great. Karina, I hope to see you on Thursday. I'm keeping my fingers crossed on that one. I am making the pilgrimage out west to La La Land. So Victor, I'll talk to you as well.
I'll pick you up.
I've got a daughter that lives in California, so I wind up in California quite a bit. And if anybody has questions, ideas, if you have a topic that you'd like us to cover, even if I don't understand it, we will study it thoroughly and bring in people that could explain things if that's what you want. We're really trying to be your ultimate marketing tool. And I really hope that you utilize us that way. And if you like something, tell us about it. If you don't like something, tell us about it too. We want to fix it. Jennifer, go ahead.
So I launched my first Facebook Messenger ad, which was freaking ridiculously complicated on the back end, but I did it. And
Okay.
now I'm starting to get people asking. It was with, you know, I created a lead magnet that I am giving them. So, but I'm not sure how to talk to them, because I'm getting some leads into my DMs on Facebook Messenger, but I don't know, maybe you could help on sort of when you do ads like that with Facebook or Instagram, how to best then interact with the leads.
Sure. You know, that's a longer question, and we could certainly address it, but just here's a hint. You plan all the way through. So when they do reach out to you, you know, like it or not, vocabulary in life is so incredibly limited. There's 300,000 words in the English language. You never use 1,000 in your life. I mean, maybe you're an English major, you know, but most of us really don't use that much language. There's a limited amount of vocabulary of what you're going to ask. That's why the whole thing that Eitan is doing now with our AI, why does AI work, this ChatGPT? If I say peanut butter, I want a sandwich made with peanut butter, and most of you are going to say jelly, unless you want to be silly and say something else. Honey, fine, honey, bananas. Of course, we got all that. But the number one answer is jelly. And basically what AI is doing is iterating through all the possibilities and coming up with some real complex large language models. That's LLM, large language model. So, you know, when you really think about it, a lot of the things that you experience, a lot of the conversation and dialogue that you have is stuff that could really be anticipated. Your clients, for the most part, are going to have the same complaints about your listing. Every now and then you get somebody that's weird. You know, I got somebody who was upset with my listing because it didn't have popcorn ceiling. In the history of real estate, nobody gave a damn about popcorn ceiling. I met the one guy that did. It drove me up the wall. It drove me up the wall. You know, because I was like, oh, and best of all, we have no popcorn ceiling. Why? I love popcorn ceiling. I've never seen that before. So every now and then you don't get it right. But for the most part, I'm not going to stop. It's safe to say that if you remediated the popcorn ceiling, Victor, nod, right? It's a good thing. Yeah. I met the one person in the world that likes popcorn ceiling. Go figure. Call Guinness. Okay, guys. Look, that's bit. Is Terry here? We got no one to sing us out. This will be posted on the REIGNation page on Facebook, as well as in our on our website, which Daniel put up there as well. We are going to be doing a lot. I'm looking forward to seeing several of you for our one-on-one sessions, which is great. If you have questions about that, do give me a buzz. And I look forward to, and again, GK group here, please email your information. Thank you, Jennifer, for being so active today. I love it when people participate. Victor, you're a handsome man. Good to see you, my man. Karina, looking forward to seeing you. And I want to thank all of you for coming. And I look forward to seeing all of you next Wednesday for another exciting episode of REIGNation. Take care.
Later.